Hey guys, Brandon and Katie here. We just wanted to do a quick video on 5 things we like about our van and 5 things we don't like so much. We've been living in the van for a few months now and feel we're reasonably qualified to make an assessment on functionality of different parts of our vans and then kind of things that we maybe wish we would have changed or wish we would have done differently. So we're planning on 5 and 5. We'll see how many we do. It may be a few more. But stick around and just check out kind of some of the components of our van.
So one of the smaller features of our van that we both ended up really loving is our soap dispenser attached to the backsplash. We love that it's just easy access. If you have a world virus going on, you need to wash your hands about 20 times a day. It's right there. You don't have to go searching for your bottle of soap. And also our paper towel holder attached right next to it is pretty nice. Alright, so a main feature of the van is our pull-out stove, which we love having underneath the countertop. That way we have our whole countertop open for food prepping. And then when we're finished, we basically just clean it up, shut it, and push it right back under. So it's pretty convenient, and it's pretty much just like it was never there. This is our shower grate, also doubling as our mudroom. Which is perfect for throwing your dirty or wet shoes on or your wet clothes after you come in from the lake. It's easy to clean up basically. We have our shower head here, so if you wanted to spray things off outside and then lay them on the grate, that also works. If you wanted to hear more about our shower, check out our link.
That's awkward.
What do I do? This is one of the things you'll hear more about later in the video, things that we don't like about our van. So another cool feature that we added is non-slip carpet tape, which we actually have it on the bottom of our rug, but we really love it on the bottom of our cushions. That way it kind of just grips really nicely to the wood. That way when we're sitting on it, we're not sliding around, and we don't have to worry about anything falling off when we're driving. Something we like about the bed area is having the phone cords on either side of us. So we have one there, and then the other one we just kind of strung through the 2 baskets and have it on this side. So that way we both have a phone charger. Everybody knows they don't love to wake up to a phone that's not charged. So that kind of is a nice little feature to have up here. With the hanging wardrobe, we decided that we needed to come up with a way to make the most of the space. So we ended up getting one of these hanging shoe organizers. That way we can just easily grab our shoes out, put them back in. We also put like our raincoats and just kind of random stuff in there if we decide to. But it's really come in handy for shoes.
Katie talked about the hanging shoe organizer, which is a thing that we really like, but it leads us into something that we don't like about the van, and that would be basically the closet in general. It's kind of an awkward shape to be putting things in. You notice that we have like a bunch of random stuff just stashed in here. And if we had a lot of clothes that we hung up, like it's designed for that sort of, space. If we had a lot of those clothes, it would work great, but we don't, and we don't really need a lot of those clothes living in a van. So it's kind of a bad storage solution. And I think if we did another van like this, we probably wouldn't put the closet in. We would have extra space for either water storage or just more storage in the back in the garage. I think it would just be better utilized space. If you've seen our full van tour video, if you haven't, there's a link to it right here. But if you have, you've probably seen that we have these shock absorbers that lift our cabinet doors up, which we love. But these 2 cabinets right here don't have them because the kind that we got were too long to work on these 2. So these 2 doors right here don't stay open, they just fall shut. And these are where our toiletries are. And if you remember, Katie has a lot of toiletries. So there's stuff falling out of these cabinets all the time, and you have to like hold one open and then like try to keep the avalanche of things coming down. So definitely, I haven't been able to find the right size, shock absorbers or whatever they're called. But if I can find them, I will add them. That's something that's kind of frustrating and really wish we would have on these 2 cabinet doors. Another thing that we don't love so much about our van is the sink. We like that it's an undermount, we can just like wipe things into the sink. We like that it's deep and, you know, dishes can pile up in here. But the one thing that we don't like is how small it is. It's like a bar sink, and to be quite honest, neither one of us likes dishes at all. And we're the kind of people that sometimes we leave our dinner dishes in the sink overnight. I know that might get people upset, but it's the real thing. It's what happens. So the reason that we did this sink is that originally we had this full-size fridge in here and we couldn't go over farther with the sink. But now that we don't, we definitely could add a wider sink. It would just be quite a process because we'd have to re-poly the countertop and change this drawer and everything. So we're not gonna do it right now, but if we were gonna live in the van, if we know that we're gonna live in the van like really long term, we'll probably eventually add in a bigger sink. This drawer, over the course of the past week, mysteriously slides out sometimes when we're parked at an angle, and that is because our push button lock right here broke off. The little clip that holds it on the stile of the front of the door, that broke. And so it's another thing we don't like about our van is these push button locks. They look great and they work really good when they're installed exactly the right distance away from each other, but they're just kind of gimmicky, and if they're not quite right in the exact location, they can break, or they can be like really hard to open and shut. So I don't think that we would use them again, and it's something we just really don't like so much about our van. Another thing that we don't like about our van is our battery storage. We have 300 amp hours of AGM battery power, which does pretty okay if we're in the right climate. If we're at somewhere where it's sunny all the time in the summer, it's fine. But I think if we had to do it again, we would have went lithium. At the time when I first built the van, I did some of the calculations and I thought, oh, you know, I don't want to spend the extra money on lithium. It seems dumb. But I think what I didn't really calculate was like longevity of the system. So with a lithium battery, I know that we could, you know, run a lithium for 10 years. There's brands that have a 10-year warranty on their lithium batteries, and it's nice that you can use all the electric until it gets down to nothing, and then you have none. Whereas AGM, it's like once you get down to 50%, you really shouldn't take more electric. But if your fridge is still running and things like that, you're going to use that electric, and that's going to damage the batteries. So lithium would just be a lot simpler, and although it would be a little bit more expensive, it would last longer and we'd have more power to use. So I think again, if we keep the van really long term, we'll definitely upgrade the lithium batteries. We really love having our street legal dirt bike attached to the back of the van, and we like this lift system that we have, but one thing that can be really frustrating is not having good access into the garage of the van. So our kayak is in there, our camping equipment, cooking, when we cook over the fire, we have equipment in there, and then access to our propane to switch out our propane tank is on that left door. The right door, you can see here, it opens like a foot, which is enough to get in there and like get a few things out that we need that are easy access. That left door though only opens like 3 inches, and it'll hit the dirt bike carrier, so it's basically impossible to get the propane out without taking the whole dirt bike and the hitch off. So again, we like having it, but it sometimes is possibly more of a pain than it's worth to have on the back of the van. When I got the van, I bought it at 22,000 miles, something like that, and the tires were almost bald already, the factory tires. So I went ahead and powder coated the rims and put on all-terrain tires on it. So a lot of people think that our van has 4-wheel drive because it has that sort of tire on it, but it doesn't. This is the 2018 model Ford, and Ford didn't come out with an all-wheel drive model until 2020. We do almost all of our camping in like national forests and BLM land, so 4-wheel drive would be very, very helpful in some of those areas. There's definitely a lot of places we haven't been able to go with only having 2-wheel drive. In a lot of places we'll go and we're worried that if it rains we won't be able to get back out. So short of actually having like a Jeep or a truck, this van with 4-wheel drive would be fairly capable, but without having four-wheel drive, this van definitely has its limitations on where it can go. Those were pretty much the main things that we like and dislike about our van. Obviously, there's some huge components that we love about our van, but those are all kind of covered in our main van tour video. We just thought that we would do some of the smaller things that maybe a lot of times you don't think about and that we didn't think about before we really moved into our van full-time.
Thanks guys for watching. If you haven't yet, make sure to subscribe to our channel, hit the thumbs up, and we'll see you next time.
Got him, let's go eat tacos.